All week, we've been reminiscing on everything that happened here in the Pine Tree State over the past year. Today, we'll be taking a look at the stories that made September and October truly unforgettable. The month of September started off relatively relaxed, with Labor Day weekend marking the end of summer. But there was one group in Augusta looking for more compensation for their labors. Over 100 state workers held a rolling rally outside of the State House in an attempt to garner support for higher wages.
And what we've been seeing really since 2009, when a study was first done, was that state workers were well behind by about 15%.
The state treasurer's office announced it would hold an auction for the tangible unclaimed property in its possession, an event that only happens every few decades to make more room for storage.
At some point, we got to a stage where there's just too much volume here.
About halfway through the month, a large part of the state of Maine began to prep for the approaching Hurricane Lee.
Panic.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of panic going on here today.
Sure.
Many of our team experienced the storm firsthand as they gave in-field updates on the storm.
Caps out on the water, just very, very strong wind gusts. Not so much rain, but that has been coming and going.
And at the end of the month, the city of Bangor decided to allow one of its residents to keep his emotional support chickens. C.J. Martin, a man with several health complications, was allowed to keep his feather friends despite the city's ordinance against owning farm animals.
Is this particular appeal unique? 100%. Very unique.
Starting off October, the city of Bangor continued to grapple with its unhoused population, searching for a long-term solution to the problem.
Down to one encampment out at Camp Hope behind the Hope House, and there's no set timeline on getting those people rehoused.
Later in the month, the city found itself in a controversy after the city gave many of those in the Hope House encampment, otherwise known as Tent City, an area dozens had called home, a 3-day notice to vacate the premises.
Over the last, 2 months, concerns have been raised by those who are working in the field about the safety of individuals who are actively working with us.
Many were told to leave, but those actively working with caseworkers were allowed to stay in the encampment indefinitely. Also, in October, our station was awarded the Maine Association of Broadcasters' very first Station of the Year award. However, at the end of the month, Mainers witnessed one of the worst tragedies to happen in the state when Robert Card opened fire, killing 18 people.
It's very strange having a stone throw away something this close to home being here in Lewiston, Maine.
Our innocence has been, disrupted.
But after the tragedy, the state of Maine came together like never before.
It took 2 days, but we found him, and everybody could sleep good last night.
The people of Maine deserve this discussion.
I grew up in Auburn, and, I would be devastated one way or the other. This is a very small community.
No words can diminish the pain, shock, and understandable anger felt by the families who lost loved ones.
It's hard, unfortunately. Just keep positive. Keep your surroundings close. It's hard, honestly.
This community will never recover from this tragedy, but it will heal.
The real fight doesn't start until we say our final goodbyes.
Friday, we'll finish up our year in review with a look at the stories that made November and December. In studio, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.